Welcome back to Now on Salem News Channel. So excited to be welcoming back to the program Troy Miller. He is the president of National Religious Broadcasters. Thank you so much, Troy, for coming back on.
Well, thanks for having me. We're having a great time here in Nashville.
I'm so excited to be here. It was great to meet with you yesterday and see so many wonderful faces in Christian broadcasting. It was really the who's who, and also so many people who consume Christian media and evangelists and people who work on the ground in missions. I actually saw one of my daughter's best friends from high school in homeschooling. She's now working in Christian ministry and is here. So this is the place to be this week, and I'm so excited about it. And then to cap it off, as if we hadn't had enough goodness this week, we had former President Trump taking the stage last night after amazing music and speaking from Hugh Hewitt and others. Talk to us about what happened at the presidential forum.
Yeah, we had a great night. So NRB wanted to have a chance to have a presidential forum and to have the candidates come and meet and share with our audience, what their vision is for America. We invited all eligible candidates, including the sitting president, and Donald Trump was the only one who really made time in his schedule to come and talk to these broadcasts. We had over 2,000 people in the audience to hear him, and I think he did a great job. He really not only did he, broad brush and talk about his own faith and Christianity, but he targeted with some very specific things that he plans to do if he gets back into office.
So the very specific things included him running down so much of what we're talking about on television, what your broadcasters and members of your organization speak about. And one of those things was immigration. He also talked about the transgender movement and how it's impacting families. And he didn't shy away from anything. And I loved how he connected with the people in the room by referring to all aspects of broadcast in Christian media. Troy, what did you feel when he was actually kind of delivering those moments having to do with the tougher topics?
Well, look, I think as myself, as well as the rest of our audience, probably felt a lot of hope and felt like here's a man on the stage that really understands his audience and who he's talking to. As you said, he not only did he hit some very specific issues to us as broadcasters, such as AM radio and the Dash. He talked about the cancel culture that's going on. He talked about deregulation at the Federal Communications Commission. So some very specific things for us. But for the general Christian audience, he talked about a number of things: protecting religious freedom, setting up a division over at the Justice Department that would investigate any kind of cancel culture or any kind of discrimination against Christians. And then he, I think, got his best applause when he talked about homeschoolers, and that really understood the Christian audience and what's going on in schools today. And he said, look, he's looking at signing a bill that would come across his desk to provide a $10,000 credit for families at homeschool. And that got a standing ovation for, I think, the longest period of time.
Yeah, I love that. And I was really excited about the fact that he understood who the people were in that room. He speaks to a lot of different groups. And one of the things about speaking when you're going from group to group is some people tend to have the same speech and they just tweak it a little. He really comes from the heart with the speeches that he delivers. And last night, it was unique to the audience that he was presenting to. And he was following Dr. Roberts from the Heritage Foundation, who really, I mean, that was a pinpoint accurate speech that he gave. And it was a perfect lead in to what President Trump talked about. And it was over an hour. That was the other part, Troy. I was very surprised to see President Trump up late into the evening for over an hour up at the podium talking to national religious broadcasters last night.
Well, yeah, and I can tell you that one of the things that he had is so much energy last night. That was the amazing thing to talk to him, even backstage. Here he is. He has so much energy in what he's doing. And you're right. He really talked to our audience. He hit our audience direct. It wasn't just a canned stump speech. I mean, he talked about some of his key topics as president, but he really specifically honed in on issues that are going to affect and are concerned about broadcasters, and particularly the weaponization of government and government agencies.
So let's now talk a little bit more about what's going on. We still have a day left and lots of travel tomorrow for people who'll be going back home like myself. NRB is still live and in full swing. Talk to us about what we can expect today.
Yeah, so our exhibit floor, over 39,000 square feet, 200 exhibitors, will be open until 3 o'clock today, this afternoon. And then we'll close this evening with our closing gala, which is kind of a highlight for NRB. We'll hand out what we call our Special Service Award. We have two Hall of Fame members that will get awarded this evening, and a number of other awards for excellence in ministry. And it's kind of our time to highlight our industry. And it's just a really fun time. We have had over almost 4,800 people here this week working together for communication for the gospel, and that's exciting.
It is exciting. And I think the other part that's so cool is, the left likes to frame anything that has to do with Christianity as being old and kind of, it's Humpty Dumpty, it's podunk, it's not up to date. And what I've seen today is the same thing I've seen at all of the NRBs I've attended. This is my third one, and it is state of the art communications. It's amazingly up to date technology. It's beautiful people representing the gospel well. And there's a whole sense here at this conference that is sometimes absent at other conferences that I've attended, which is a sense of even a single minded purpose for the gospel.
Absolutely. This is you described it very well. That's what this conference is about, the gospel. And so you have, as you said, we've had many exhibitors here that are showcasing the latest technology and cameras and radio work and that. But you know what's really fun to come around NRB these days is we have so many young people who are getting into Christian broadcasting and Christian communications. We had 7 different schools bring their communications students here to be part of what we call the NRB Challenge, where they take 3 days, they go out, they film, and then they have a little competition to see who can do the best sort of short form documentary on NRB. But we also had just a number of people, students and others from ministries, getting in, not just getting into new technology, digital technology and podcasting, but coming here to get into television broadcasting and filmmaking. I think we have over 200 filmmakers here at this NRB.
So that is exciting. We're closing out here. I was so grateful to see that you could come on the show today from NRB. We're in the same place. We got to meet. It's been a bucket list week for me, I got to say. We're so excited for another NRB in the book, celebrating 30 years of Christian broadcasting excellence. Under your leadership, Troy, it's been a blast this week. Thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a wonderful afternoon. And we'll have more for you here. In fact, I want you to see what is up next on Salem News Channel tonight. We have specifically something amazing coming up, and that is going to be the full speech from President Trump. That'll be happening tonight on Salem News Channel. So don't forget to tune in for that. It'll be in the 10 p.m. East hour after S&C tonight. So we'll be back with more now with Stacey Washington after this.